tông bene một zero này áo câu na lúc xưa câu nắc trăng ba mưa thâu cây lung xì lê lúc xì lê này áo cây ghé mà nó cũng nên đây phù nồng hôi mắc yun bay kia nay nung ngày rê cái yun trăng mà lấy ní lê nay bằng ra cười xinh ní cá lê ra nay là ba ra ngà bên ní cá lao qua cơ mang giờ bên ní lao giờ nay nung hi mà nung ki cây ring mà ni râu mèn cây mà yung chờ râu mèn nay nung hi mà nung ki cây ring mà ni râu mèn cây mà yung chờ râu mèn cây lung xì lê này à cây ghế mà lúc kinh niên đây phu nung hôi mất yun bay kia nay nu ngày ri cây yun trăng mà lấy ní lê nay bằng ra cây sinh ní nay cá lê ra nay là ba ra ngà bên ní cá lao qua cơ mang giờ bên ní lao giờ
Thank you, Mr. Moringa Dangsawa, singer Limca Band, for your melodious voice and presentation. Welcome everyone to the one-day career counseling organized by students of Marine Medicos Union and Marine Student Union. My name is P. Mason George Dangsawa. I will be co-comparing with my colleague, Ms. Y. Melody Makunga, Women Coordinator, Marine Student Union. To the various participants, over the next few hours, this program will provide you with many opportunities about one of the most important decisions of your life, your career. Today, we have a glorious opportunity to interact with the speakers and mingle among the students of different schools. I wish you a fruitful and a pleasant time. So to start this lovely morning here together, we would like to bring you the precedence of today's program.
The Marine Students Union and Marine Medicos Union bring you one-day career counseling, venue Kukertil Community Hall, date 13/8/2022, time 10:30 a.m. Speakers Dr. L. Angshim Dangsawa, IAS, SDO Paumata, Senapati District. Dr. M. Dayanan, Pibarel Mitay, Entrepreneur, Life Coach, MD Madeline, and Founder Life Skill Development Academy. Mrs. Sanjambam Silomi Devi, Career Counselor, SS Counseling Center, Info. Let me highlight the program sequence. First of all, we will have an opening song from New Model School. Right after that, invocation and Bible reading will be taken up by Reverend D. Songin, Executive Secretary, MNBA. Welcome address and presentation, Silay Morung, President, MSU. Right after this, there will be a speech from Dr. L. Angshim Dangsawa, IAS. And after that, Ms. Tansi Makunga will bring us a song. And right after that, we will again have a speech from Dr. Dayanan Pibarel Mitay, and Mr. Moringa Dangsawa will bring us a song again. And right after that, speech and interaction will be taken up by Mrs. Sanjambam Silomi Devi, and vote of thanks will be given by Dr. K. Mopham, President, MMU. And for the ending of the program, closing prayer will be brought by M.K. Morung, Pastor, MBC Kukertil, MNBA. To begin with the program, I would like to call upon the New Model School for the opening song. Thank you so much, New Model School, for your marvelous song. Now, I would like to request Reverend D. Song-in Executive Secretary, MNBA, for the invocation and Bible reading.
Scripture portion taken out from Proverbs chapter 4, verse 10 following. Hear, my son, and receive my sayings, and the years of your life will be many. I have taught you in the way of wisdom. I have led you in the right paths. When you walk, your step will not be hindered. And when you run, you will not stumble. Take firm hold of instruction. Do not let go. Keep her, for she is your life. Do not enter the path of wicked, and do not walk in the way of evil, but the path of the just is like the shining sun that shines ever brighter unto the perfect day. The way of the wicked is like darkness. They do not know what makes them stumble. Happy is the man who finds wisdom, and the man who gains understanding. Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom. And in all your getting, get understanding. May God bless each and every one of us through reading the scripture portion. So shall we all look unto the Lord and pray? Let's pray. Kaya mulung si pipu simbi bu pauden bu ne bai mak shoni mathang lei. Ang tui tlai ni nang ni khanung PPB. Maring student union le airo maring Medicos union ni pauden bu nung khat ni khoi career counseling a surbang nanui pauden bu tlai bang thimi organization khintam ni yuk selenung nang ni room PB. Asi kin nang ni kanu yin pibi nang ni 4 pibi ni ne bai mak ni mathang lei lungkui ni resource person ya counselors nupung kyum ni antui tholam ba surbang ro ya nung nang ni anoint tau pilak nang ni thau thai pilak yei thura wasang benikle audience yetlengwa tamsa kya mulo kya hero lauthak kya tholam mitlengwa Haywaya lautlak minina nungay nay thamunam rikoi wisdom and knowledge haywa thmi lengwa nungay pipilo hayro counselors pungkyu may dawra nang ni empower to pilak ya nungay strengthen to pilak bay makarbil ni antu itlawlam bawa paudun bu nang ni ruising pilo nang ni 4 pipilo to ni nang krumini bu same haydo ni paudun bu nang ni mulung sibibi moderator ro yobni Paudun Mutaulam our Yogurgo Katluni, Nang 4 people, Sasundanui activities yet layingwa, Nay Mulung Sikring before Pipinanui, Tangunum Clay Paudun Bune Kudakane Malan Bangbi, Kaya Simbi Budunpu, Kalpipu Christaminia Krumbini Busame, Taulamba Keurini Kluibel Nang the Rishing Pillow, Chisu Christaminia Krumini Busame. Amen.
Thank you so much, Reverend D. Song-in, Executive Secretary, MNBA, for the invocation and Bible reading. Now we will have welcome address and presentation. Sorry, right before that, we will have an introduction hour. So right before the welcome address and presentation, my co-compeer, Dr. Messenger, will be leading the introduction hour.
We would like to have a brief time to introduce our speaker, to introduce our guest and the dignitaries present here today. First, I would like to take this time to introduce Dr. L. Angsim Dangsawa, IAS, SDO Paumata, Senapati District, to kindly stand up from his seat and to introduce, yes, Dr. L. Angsim Dangsawa. Thank you, sir. We would also like to introduce Mrs. K. Hoinu Charang, President, Maring Nupiaying Lam. We would again like to introduce Reverend D. Songin, Executive Secretary, MNBA. I take this time to introduce Mr. Silay Morung, President, Maring Student Union. I also request the executive of Maring Student Union to kindly introduce, rise up from their places and to introduce themselves. Thank you. I would also like to introduce Dr. K.M. Pham, President, Maring Medicos Union. And his executives, the executives of Maring Medicos Union, if present, please. I also like to introduce, if any pastors present among here with us, please kindly rise up from your seat. Thank you so much, pastors, for being with us here in today's program. And if there are any introductions we would like to do in between, thank you so much for the time.
Once again, thank you so much for coming and joining us here in our program. Next, we will have a welcome address and presentation from Silay Morung, President, MSU.
Good morning, everyone. Most respected President Maring Nupiaying Lam and her colleagues, my sincere respect to Dr. L. Angsim Dangsawa, IAS. I will also extend my respect to the office bearers of the Maring Students Union and Maring Medicos Union. I extend my respect to the parents, teachers, and guardians, and especially my students who came all the way from from different places and institutions, schools, to attend this meeting. The Office of the Maring Students Union would like to welcome each and every one of you on this very auspicious program, and your kind presence to make this program a grand successful is very valuable for the office. I will not go that much further. The office of the MSU and MMU, we have arranged as a token of appreciation to our 3 speakers, but unfortunately both 2 of them are on their way. So on behalf of the office, let me have the privilege to present a small token of gift to our respected sir, Dr. L. Angsim Dangsawa. Last but not the least, my dear students, this is the right opportunity and it's the right time to make your decision regarding your careers and regarding your futures. So if you have any doubts, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to raise your hand or stand on your feet to ask questions. So, I wish you all the best and let this program be your career saving for your future. Thank you, Mathang Sale.
Thank you so much, Shilay Morong, President MSU, for your welcome address and presentation.
Check. To inspire us, we have our speaker, a person who is not only an administrator, not only a doctor, not only an avid sportsman, but also one among the first in our community to join the prestigious Indian Administrative Service, inspiring this new generation that we too can achieve the pinnacle of success. For this solemn event today, there could not have been a more appropriate speaker than him to embellish, to enrich this event. Please join me with a round of applause to welcome on stage Dr. Larung Angsim Dangsawa, IAS SDO Pamata, Sinapati District. Please, sir. Let us give him a round of applause, students.
Good morning, all. First of all, I would like to give my immense gratitude to the organizers of this very, very important event, the Marine Students Union and Marine Medicos Union. I must start by saying that in today's era, where we are full of people around us who are always looking forward for competition, who are always in a mode of fighting for a piecemeal of resource and opportunities. We are in constant need of guidance. We are in perpetual need of some sort of motivation and somebody who is always ready to show us the right path. So in that era, in that kind of situation, programs like this, an event like this, it's definitely going to help, definitely going to shape and mold the future of the thousands of our community. So I would like to start by giving my deepest regard and gratitude to these two unions of our community. And I would also like to thank for the presence of our respected madam, maring ng piyayong lam, and pastors and all the dignitaries, well-wishers, and also all the parents and guardians who are here this afternoon to witness and to listen to the speeches and then whatever the informations the resource persons are going to deliver this afternoon. And I must also thank especially to all the students this afternoon. The program is for you, the event is for you, and rightfully you are here in this afternoon. You have turned out in such a big number, which really gives us the confidence and the belief that the few moments that we are going to spend with you all, it's not going to be wasted in vain. And I believe that you all will listen and try to grab something, to gain something out of this congregation. You will not go empty-handed. And as I am suggested, since we are a community of students, we are a group of young people, we would love to have the interaction in English, but if at any point of time, if is there anybody who is, having a trouble in understanding certain points or few issues, you may always, feel free and raise your hand and interrupt any point of time. You can speak in our own mother dialect or Manipuri, whichever you feel comfortable. Okay, yeah. Before I move on to my slide presentation, I must, give this thing a little bit in prior ahead that career counseling, it's not an easy thing. In fact, when this is probably 4 or 5 times I'm talking about career counseling among a community of students, but I must say that it's one of the toughest jobs. It's not easy at all. I am not similar to you. He is not similar to you. And we all are different. We all grew up in an environment which is totally different. So, to speak about a career counseling that has a group of students in a number of hundreds who grew up from different environments, from different family backgrounds, from different education backgrounds. It's an extremely challenging task to deliver a speech in that kind of, a gathering. So, to give you an anecdote, when we talk about career counseling, a student who hails from this particular place, Kukatil village, the needs and the challenges of that student will definitely, will be different from somebody who is growing up at, in Delhi or Bangalore or Chennai. All right. So to talk about career counseling in a group of students, it's a very challenging task. In fact, I must say that a group of people like, professional people called the career counselors, they are the right person to speak about the career counseling. However, being given the task to do, I must at least fulfill my duty and try to speak something. Whatever few experience I have in my life, the career, the profession has provided me, the few experiences that I have in the last few years, I take this opportunity to share with you all, expecting that it can help a few of you to be inspired, after the session. Well, I was thinking, even though if it is about career counseling, our community is in great need of, a strong motivation and encouragement among the student groups. So I have been thinking, what should I speak? What should I deliver today? So I thought I call up our executives to, kindly arrange a facility for our presentation. In fact, they did it in time and they arranged it very well. I believe in the audiovisual kinds of communication, not just one-way communication. I tried to make it very short. In fact, it's only few slides, and I think I'll take only about 20 minutes. So I chose this topic called making an informed career choice. Now, you can see the photo here, a young student facing the dilemma of making a choice. Where do I go after my class 10th? Where do I go after my class 12th? Should I go for science? Should I go for commerce? Or should I go for humanities? This is in fact a very common dilemma which all of us face. You will be facing, or all of us had once faced the same dilemma which we used to face. Alright, only few have that clarity in their mind who don't face this issue, who are very clear about what they really want to pursue in their life. So, yeah, moving ahead, I have a very small, short video clip. Just listen to it. It's just a few seconds video clip. I hope it can capture the sound.
Oh, you're a cat.
A Cheshire cat, all amusing. Oh, the water goes.
Oh, wait. Don't go, please.
Very well. Very cool.
Oh, no. Thank you, but I just wanted to ask you which way I ought to go.
Well, that depends on where you want to get to.
Oh, it really doesn't matter. As long as I can...
Then it really doesn't matter which way you go.
Yeah. That's a very short video clip extracted from the comic play, The Alice in Wonderland. You can read the letters I have written down there. It says, just to give you the subtitle about the video, it's a small extract in the play where this fictional character, this Alice, when she was wandering in the forest, she got lost, and then she was wondering, there is a crossroad, and then she is wondering, which way should I take? Either should I take the left or should I take the right? And that's when this another character, the Cheshire Cat, appeared and then asked. The Alice asked, which way should I take? And the cat answered, that depends on where you want to go. Alright? And the Alice said, doesn't matter where I want to go, as long as it takes me to somewhere. As long as the journey leads me to a destination, it doesn't matter. Then that's when the cat replied, saying that if where you want to go doesn't matter, then which way you take also doesn't matter. You will definitely reach somewhere. You will definitely, reach to a destination, provided, you have to take a very long walk. If you are not clear about where you want to go, you just take any path, but you will reach somewhere. But it may take a very longer route. So I thought of starting with this small video clip because, it's an anecdote. Many of us are in fact in need of such kind of counseling, career counseling even, because we are not clear about what we want in our life. We are not very clear. We are not very sure about what kind of person you want to see yourself is. After 10 years, after 15 years, you are not sure. You don't know. Some of us, in fact, are very young, still very young to even think about it, too young to ponder upon it. But some of us are quite old enough, quite mature enough to understand and realize, where you want to go years later down the line. Okay? So this is to start with. I want to, put a thought in you, just to provoke your mind that how many of us are still not clear about what we want in our life. You hold on to that thought and then we'll move on to the next slide. Okay. As my topic says, making an informed career choice. Why do we need to have, why do we need to make an informed decision? These things may be a little bit complicated for very young students, but I'll try to explain. In an ancient Greek mythology, there is a guy called Tantalus. Tantalus is an ancient Greek mythology figure. He was a son of the ancient Greek god called Zeus. I don't know, you must have heard the name Zeus. Zeus was an ancient Greek god, and this Mr. Tantalus was the son of Zeus. When this Tantalus was invited by the gods, to have dinner with them, to dine with them, this Tantalus offered his own daughter as a feast for the gods. So when the gods realized that this psychopathic man had offered his own daughter for the dinner, the gods got so angry, and that's when the god Zeus punished this Mr. Tantalus. He punished him so badly in hell in such a way that, he was put in as the picture depicts here, he was put in a small pond. He was put in a small pond with a water at the level of about a knee level, okay? And on the top of him, there was a fruit tree. There was a fruit tree with fruit on it. However, the Tantalus was cursed in such a way that the god Zeus cursed him in such a way that whenever he reached out the water to drink, the water level just drops away. And that's how, he is thirsty, but he can't quench his thirst. Whenever he reaches out for water, the water level will just go away. And whenever he tried to reach the fruit, to eat the fruit, the branch of the fruit will go higher. That way he can't reach the branch of the fruit. So he was cursed with a very unique kind of curse in such a way that whatever he desires, whatever he wants to do, he never get it. He is always in that state of lostness, confusion. He wants something, but he can't get it. So he don't know what to do with. He's lost somewhere, stuck in that situation. Now, we all may think that this is ancient Greek mythology, but you and I, if we don't make an informed decision, one day, you may not realize today, one day you will be lost somewhere. What do? I tried this, but I failed. I tried that, still I failed. I want to try that, but I'm not sure. I'm afraid, and I'm very apprehensive. I may fail there again. So that kind of situation, we may end up. The curse of Tantalus may be upon us, if you don't make an informed decision at the right point of time in our career. All right. So another thing, why we need an informed decision? Our life is not about ourselves. We have a society, we have a community, we have people around us, we have a lot of influencers in our life. Whatever decision you make, it's not going to affect only you. The decision that you make, if it turns out to be good decision, is going to benefit a lot of people. Your decision, if it turns out to be wrong, it's going to hurt a lot of people. It's going to affect a lot of people. You are not just yourself. You can read the thing below here. Or it's not visible in the presentation, but I will read for you. It says, it's about the young Siddhartha Buddha, the founder of Buddhism, the Buddha, young Buddha, when he decided to leave his own house, to leave the palace. He was a young prince, right? Buddha was a young prince. But when he decided to leave the palace in search of, many questions in the life, he was asking a lot of questions about life, about suffering, about the problems that he see every day outside the wall of the palace. So he wanted to find an answer for this. So one fine night, he made a decision, fine, I am going to leave my palace, I'm going to leave all the fortune, I'm going to leave my house, my home, my family, and then find that answer. Why do we suffer in life? You all know the rest of the story, how Buddha became the founder of the Buddhism, right? And he found enlightenment, which was one of the greatest achievement of, godly figures in history. Yet, the other side of the story, which people usually don't see, Buddha became Gautama after getting enlightened. He found the answer about suffering. He found a lot of answers about a lot of questions, which he had been always very, very curious about. But one thing, Buddha was not alone. Buddha was married. Buddha had a son. Buddha was married to a woman called Yashoda, and Buddha had a son called Rahula. Alright, when Buddha decided to leave his own house, his own home, it's good thing that he could find the answer about enlightenment, but however, the moment he left his family, his palace, his wife, his son, for them it was a disaster. History says that his wife Yashoda supported Buddha in that decision. However, we also should not forget that his wife had to live in a family, run the family without husband's support. His son had to grow up without the presence of this loving father. All those difficulties and problems that the family had to suffer just because he left in search of an answer. Alright, because in most of the cases, we don't see the other side of the story. We only see what is the good part of the story because we see the history as it is being written. We don't bother to see the other part of the history. What I'm trying to say, students, here is, your decision, it's not about yourself. You make a wrong decision today, you're going to regret when you grow up. Your family is going to suffer. Your community is going to suffer. I'm not questioning that what Buddha decided was wrong or right. But I'm just giving an anecdote for you to, put a thought on it, okay? So, you make a wrong decision today, the entire community, the society, your family is going to suffer. You make a right decision today, everybody is going to benefit out of it. Forget about just yourself. So keep this in your mind. So that's the whole basis why I chose today's topic about making an informed career choice, okay? Yeah. Now, to begin with, when we talk about making a right career choice or option in our life, there are a lot of things. You might have read a lot of books. I have read quite a few books about career choice. I have watched multiple videos. I have been part of the career talks. Many speakers talk about, different factors involved in this. Many people say many things, which are all true, which are all correct in their own way. But I would like to, summarize. I would like to cut them down and then make it into only 3 points, which I feel is very relevant for our students, which I feel is very, very much relevant for our community. The kinds of scenario and background that we grew up, I feel it's very relevant. So, to begin with, the first thing that nobody disputes about, making the right career option is your passion. Your passion. Now, when we say passion, a young boy who is reading class 4 or 5 may not know what passion is about, what the passion meaning is also. They may not know. But they will grow up knowing it. And I would like to, discuss more in particular about people who understand, who are, old enough to know what passion is. Passion is something that you love to do, right? You love to do, you like to do. It's kind of hobbies, but it's more than hobbies. Passion is something that is more than hobbies, right? So, for those young students who still are struggling to find out what your passion is, I would advise you to keep trying things. Do not sit idle at your home. You see somebody playing guitar, try playing guitar. You see somebody playing football, try playing football. Alright. You see somebody, singing, or you see in a TV a great designer, a very popular designer. You try designing at your home. That way you should put yourself. There's a saying. The best way to explain things is doing it. You want to understand what your passion is about. If you are in that, still in that phase where you don't know what your passion is about, try doing things. Experiment yourself. Get involved. Slowly, you will realize what your passion is. And for those people who are already very clear about what your passions are about, I'm trying to give a few examples here. The one at the right side of this slide is Colonel Sanders. How many of you have tried KFC? Can I see hands? How many of you have eaten KFC? Yeah, unfortunately, this is the reality of, being in a very rural setup. We don't have KFC here in Palel, so I'm sure because of that you have not tried what KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. You will soon get to know when you start your education in Imphal. KFC is a brand of chicken which is very popular, you know, alright? You may not know, just listen now. It's a brand of chicken, a recipe which is very popular worldwide. It's a chicken recipe. Okay, this guy, you can see in the picture, Colonel Sanders. This guy started KFC at the age of 65. When he was 65 years old, he started this KFC. At the very young age, this man was left fatherless when his father passed away. And at the age of 7, he had a mother, he had 2 more siblings, but without a father. So most of the time, his mother had to work in the field to support the family. So he grew up cooking for the siblings. All the time, he was the one who has to do the cooking for his brothers and sisters. All right. So that way he started, learning the art of cooking, and then he was very passionate about it. He loved to cook. He loved to design new recipes. Now, since 7 years of age, he started cooking, but his success story came to light only at the age of 65 years. History says that this guy, he had to cook this chicken, the KFC, which he started. Earlier, it was not named KFC, of course, but the recipe which he prepared, he had to cook, and then he had to go here and there. He had to visit restaurants, and then talk to the owner of the restaurants, and please try my recipe. All right. And then when the owner tried the recipe, if they like it, then he started cooking in that restaurant. For 1009 times, 1009 times he was rejected. The owners of the restaurants replied no 1009 times to this great man. Only after 1009 times, he was refused 1009 times, and after that, finally there was one lucky moment when he was accepted. When one fine gentleman, one owner of the restaurant said, "Yes, I like your chicken, please cook in my restaurant." That's how the famous Kentucky Fried Chicken started. It's a very popular story. You can read anywhere, from books, you can Google it anywhere, you'll find it. Now, what I'm trying to say here, this man, you can imagine the passion that he has for cooking. He started at the age of 7 cooking for his sibling. He learned the art of cooking. At the age of 65, most of us would be retired by then, would be living a very chill life at home, depending on daughter-in-law, son and all. But he never gave up the passion for cooking. He wanted to popularize that recipe which he had. He never gave up the kinds of passion that he had for the chicken recipe which he developed. You can imagine, right? And the other guy, the one in the left side, his name is Yadap Payeng. When I did my training in Mussoorie, LBS and AA, in my IS training academy, this man came to our training academy. You may say that we had 180 of us, 180 IS officer probationers who were receiving our training at that time. This man, who is nobody, or who was nobody in fact, had to be invited in that very popular academy to deliver a speech. He belonged to a missing tribe of Assam. How did he become popular? Through his passion. One day, he lived in the bank of Brahmaputra river. There was a flood, and flood ended, and there was a very scorching sun heat. Because of the earlier flood, most of the aquatic animals like snakes had to come out. When the water level receded, those snakes were surviving on the mud. And because of the intense sun heat, many snakes died. And he witnessed that incident one day. And he was so shocked. He was touched by the incident. He decided that he'll do something about it. Why did those animals die? Because it was too hot. And there was no trees at all for the animals to rest. There was no forest cover. So he decided that he will dedicate his life planting forests in that area. They call it Molai forest. So this guy, Jadap Payeng, started planting forests, about more than 300 hectares of land. He planted bamboos, he planted all sorts of trees, and then he started bringing elephants, rhinoceros, tigers, all those animals. Now the ecosystem survived. The landscape changes drastically. That's when the authorities come to know who had done this. They came to know that this guy had done that. And he was awarded Padma Shri Award in 2015. For those young students who don't know Padma Shri Award, it is the 4th highest civilian award in our country. It is given to people of extreme excellence. So this man was just a farmer, a rural inhabitant, but because of his passion, he fell in love with the animal suffering. He felt pity about it. He fell in love with planting trees. And that's how he, somehow won a Padma Shri Award. Now what I'm trying to say again, passion is something not just which you love to do at any random point of time. Passion is something that you really love to do. That doesn't make you sleep. That doesn't make you eat. So passion has to be, it has a degree, I should say. It's not hobby. It's more than hobby. You need to fall in love with the passion. Without that, I must say that you are still yet to start your career. You need to find out what your passion is. Okay, so that's the first point which I would like to leave here for all my students here. Find out what your passion is about. If you have found out, well and good, you are one step ahead. If you haven't found out what your passion is, try doing things, explore things, involve in things, and then you'll find out what your passion is about. All right, so that's the first point I would like to leave it. Your passion is the first key factor that will determine what you would love to do in your life and what you would, what kind of person you would become in your life. So, yeah. Again, another passion example. I have spoken about the outsiders. I want to bring in a picture and a local touch. This lady here, you can see here in the slide, is a Mau lady. Her name is Miss Atini Teresa. She, recently in 2022 Siroi Festival, she was, the winner of the Sea Cook Chef competition. There was a cooking competition, baking competition, and then she won the competition. Now, that's the recipe of hers which I, gladly enjoyed one day. It was extremely good. And I'll tell you, there was this recipe called summer broth. She cooked summer broth in the grand finale of the cooking competition in Siroi Festival, and she won. And she narrated her story. Why did she choose that recipe? Her mother passed away in COVID-19, because of COVID-19, unfortunately, in the year, I think, 2020, I guess, if I'm not wrong. And ever since, the time when she was young, her mother used to cook them that summer broth. It's a very simple recipe. It consists of, a few pieces of beef and some veggies like pumpkin and small green leafy vegetables. It's a very simple vegetable, but she presented with passion. She narrated the story why she chose that recipe, because she has a passion for that. It's not just a dish. For her, it was a symbol of love from her mother. So she had, passion about it. She would like to, evolve it and then, improvise it with passion. So when she does that, she could, win the competition. And today, she has been invited in the India's cooking competition. There's a competition going on for national level. She has been invited for that also. What I'm trying to say here is, you do things with a passion. It's going to lead you somewhere one day where you really dream about. Okay, first thing, passion. Passion is one thing which you cannot compromise in making a career counseling decision. All right. So moving on, I had mentioned briefly, especially our tribal people. Let me put in a few stops here. Our tribal people, we are involved in almost everything. I think it's the kind of growing up that we had. We are involved in church. Churches have a lot of musical systems, gatherings, and then talks, sharing Bible words. All these things, I think, somehow, in a very good manner, have made us kind of what people say, jack of all trade but master of none type of thing. We tribal people, especially we students, we are, we usually have lots of hobbies. Our tribal students, most of them know how to play guitar. Most of them know how to play soccer, or they know how to speak, and they know how to sing, and then many things, basketball, all of that. We are full of hobbies. Only few don't know, don't have many hobbies, but most of us have, lots of hobbies. Our students, giving reference to my own personal life, you need to know what your goal in your life and what your hobbies are. It's a totally different game, all right? The goal is, it's about the vision that you have in your life. Hobbies are hobbies. You cannot equate them. There's no equation in that, all right? You cannot waste your time. You cannot waste your resources in hobbies too much. That way, you will become that what people say, jack of all trade but master of none. So you need to differentiate what your goal and what your hobbies are. Okay. There in most of the career counselings, or even it's a very popular concept in psychology and in business administration also. There's a concept called hedgehog principle. There are two animals here. One is a fox, and the other small animal is called hedgehog. I don't know what do we call this small animal in our dialect. Fox is lamhui. These two animals, there's an ancient Greek parable which says, the fox knows many things, but the hedgehog knows one big thing. The fox knows many things, but that small hedgehog knows one big thing. The fox has a lot of qualities, The fox is very beautiful animal, colorful animal, and very fast running animal. And she is very good in sneaking, peeking, and hiding and acting dead. All this sort of dramas, she is very good. And every now and then these folks try to catch this hedgehog, the small animal. The hedgehog is a small animal, very dull, boring, slow moving animal. But here, the contrasting point is that every time the fox try to catch this hedgehog, the fox fail. The hedgehog is good in one big thing, is defending himself. The fox knows many things. The fox is good in many things, but the hedgehog is very good in defending himself. He has these spines. The small animal, she has spines on her body, on her skin, which is, very good in protecting herself from the fox. Now, the earlier slide, which I say hobby versus goal, is, if you have so many qualities also, if you can't master in one of them, if you can't make it extremely good in one of them, you will fall out in the real competition. Because the world is looking for people who are extremely talented in one particular field. The world is looking for expertise. So, this is a very popular parable in ancient Greek time. The fox knows many things, but the hedgehog knows one big thing. So the choice is all yours. Either you want to be fox or the hedgehog. Alright, so passions, well and good. You have many passions, well and good. You need to find out what you're most passionate about, what you love to do the most. Otherwise, you will end up like a fox. So like I said, you need to be extremely good to make a career decision, to sign as in your career. You cannot, just have a passion about something. You need to be extremely good about the passion that you have. I'm just giving an example here. Unfortunately, my slide is not clearly visible. I will read out. I'll just give my own example. I wrote civil service examination in 2018. In our time, civil service examination 2018, at the time of prelims, there was about 5 lakhs aspirants who gave for preliminary exam. And out of those 5 lakhs, only 10,000, about 10,000 cleared the preliminary exam and then went on to write main exam. Then among those 10,000 people who wrote mains, finally there were only, not finally, after the mains, only 3,000, about 3,000 people cleared the main exam and went on to Shah Jahan House in Delhi for UPSC interview, civil service interview, personality test. And among those 3,000 people who gave the personality test, in our time, in 2018, the final merit list was only 783. Sorry, 873. So, 5 lakhs to 10,000, 10,000 to 3,000, 3,000 to 873. This was the final merit list. And when people talk about civil service, what they see is an Indian administrative service and to some extent Indian police service. Others people don't bother. Only the aspirants will know that there are about 20 plus service in the exam. But the common folks know only about IAS and IPS, to some extent foreign service, right? Now among these 873 people who are finally in the merit list, 180 got into Indian administrative service. Now what I'm trying to say, my idea is not to scare you, but the statistics, it's very simple. It's very self-explanatory. It's saying that you cannot be just passionate about serving the people. You cannot just, dream about becoming an administrator. To go into this kind of competition and come out of it victorious, you need to be extremely good at it. I'm just giving an example in the civil service, since I belong to that. But the similar case goes to every field. You need to be really good. And when I say really good, it's not about the talent alone. It's not about the gift that you have alone. It's about the hard work. It's also about the discipline. It's about the consistency. It's about the perseverance. Everything. You need to be extremely good at it. These days in Instagram, you see a lot of young boys from our community, from our state, who are into football as a profession. You will see most of them, updating their activities in Instagrams and Facebooks more than what they actually do in the field. You will see a boys, saying that it feels so good to be back in the academy, starting my training, those candid photos, videos, this and that. There's nothing wrong in that. What I'm trying to say, how many of them are actually in the first starting 11 of the team? They say that it's good to be back in Mumbai FC, Bengaluru FC, but you will see them in Insta activities, but you don't see much them in the starting 11 of the team. Your hard work needs to be real, not virtual. You need to put the real hard work, the real hard work in pain and sweat, not just in virtual stuff. You have to be, you have to be sincere to yourself, not only about appearing to be sincere. It's not enough. So when we talk about the earlier thing I talked about passion, that's the starting point, but passion alone is not enough. You need to be extremely good at it, very, very good at it. We had to study 12 hours in a day when we prepare for the exam, and I'm not exaggerating. Of course, sometimes there are fluctuations, but on an average, I think 10 hours per day. And there are times when we had a mental breakdown, there are times when we had a physical breakdown. You need to find yourself, pushing up all the time and then get moving and then get along the crowd and compete with them. There was a time, I still remember, my village is just about 20 minutes from here. There was a small bridge. And because of the incessant rain, the bridge was carried away by the water. At that point of time, in 2019, I think it was a time when I wrote mains. Somehow, the one picture reached me through some WhatsApp groups. I saw the village, men folk of our village, repairing that bridge with temporary wood logs. They were cutting the woods and then making the rod. And I saw this Tata Sumo getting stuck in the rain. And the passengers, all people had to push that this thing, And it really hurt me at that time. And I kept that photo as my mobile wallpaper at the time, just to motivate myself. Whenever I'm down, I see the photo. The people back at home are waiting for me, and then they are in need of me. That's the thing that I used to speak to myself. What I'm trying to say here, your passion alone is not enough. You need to be extremely good at it, and to be good at it, you have to work extremely hard, discipline, and find a means to keep yourself motivated, keep yourself pushing, and then get along with the crowd of the real competition. Okay, so it's a small statistic, and you may make mistake when you start. When you start, you may make mistake. You may think that I'm passionate about this, and then I'm very good about this. Later on, you may realize that, oh, this is not the cup of tea for me. It's too difficult for me and all. No? And it's always okay to change your the career. At any point of time when you realize that, this is not your cup of tea and it's not meant to be for me, then you can always change. You should change, in fact. You should not get trapped in that. So, this man, I don't know if you can see, the man who is standing next to me is a very popular figure in Manipur. You all know, Dr. Dabali Thangzam. He was my teacher when I was in the second year of MBBS in Jennings. He used to teach us pathology. This man, today he is not anymore in medical profession. In the right side, you can see all sorts of stuff that he is doing. He's playing around there. And he is extremely successful in this. He's extremely good in this. As a doctor, as a pathologist, he might think that he was good, but he realized that there is something, which I can do much better. That's when he switched the career. He went into entrepreneurship. He left the medical profession. He joined the entrepreneurship, and now he finds this big success, and he's doing very well. He's got a lot of awards as well. He's doing the classic groups of hotel and this Babina Diagnostics. He runs this CSR stuff called Pamel Foundation, and then they are the one who is doing this cancer institutes and all this stuff. And imagine the kinds of contribution this man is giving to the society, to our state. The kind of acknowledgement our state has received in the last many years because of his hard work. What I'm trying to say is that this guy switched his career at the very later part of his life. You can also do the same. At any point of your time, in your life, when you realize that, this is not the cup of tea for you, you can always switch. You should switch. You should make the better choice. Change of mind should be there. You should not get trapped. You should not get entangled in whatever you think, so stubborn about it. No, I started with this, I'm going to end with this. Don't get stuck in that kind of thing. Okay, I believe the students are getting so far, whatever small things that I'm trying to discuss here. And you may say that, this guy is extremely rich today. He's very rich. His net worth is very high. And you may say that some people in this crowd may think and say, they may have this belief that I don't need to be that much rich. I just need to have money to feed my family and myself. Some people may think that. All right. Many people think that actually, in fact. I've seen many people who think that I don't want to be rich. I just need to be sufficient. Trust me, you will never agree as you grow up. And the more responsibilities that you get involved in the society, you are not going to agree to that. In fact, you will wish you have as much as money in your life. Of course, it should be a very legal and genuine money. For those who think that I don't need lots of money in my life, I just need a money that will feed my stomach and my family. Let me show you these pictures. I hope it's visible. The first picture you will see is a woman, a pregnant woman, a mother who is going to deliver, taken in a stretcher, passing a river. It happens in Churachandpur district. It's not, some fictional photo, okay? It happens in Churachandpur district. And it's not only in Churachandpur. Growing up in a rural setup like my village, I have seen a lot of people taken in a wooden and bamboo stretcher. Especially old people. I've seen many times as I grew up. Luckily, you young people, young students, you may not see such kind of pictures very often, but this was the picture, which is, very regular phenomenon at that time, and it's still happening today. You see on the right side, top right side, old lady has to walk in that kind of very dangerous bamboo, very shredded, very risky bridge, a man-made small what I should say, very, very dangerous bridge, risky bridge. First thing first, why do such kind of old women had to walk like that, carrying a huge, load on her back at her age? And second, if at all she has to walk, why should she be walking in that kind of very risky bridge? You can see the one in the left bottom picture, it's a vehicle charred by a fire. The house completely burned down. You can see the small remnants of a paddy left over, which are not completely burned down by fire. This incident happened last month in Liwamaring village, if you remember. They were in the church having some sort of meeting. The house was completely burned down by the fire, which we don't know how. We are still yet to find out how did the fire started. Probably some short circuit or LPG leak. Now these people were left homeless at just a moment, just at an instant. They were left homeless. They had nowhere to go. The food that they stored for eating was all burned down. The vehicle, the television, some small amount of cash that they had, all burned down instantly at the blink of an moment. Now, where do these people go? You as a human being, you as a person who is breathing, if you feel that, I can see such pictures, I don't bother as long as I have enough to feed myself. If you are of that person, then I don't know. You are out of the discussion. Alright, but I'm sure there are no such people. When you see such pictures, you will feel something. And the right bottom, I have removed his face for this guy lives just next to my quarter. He belongs to Mau community. They have a family, extremely broken family. Extremely broken and very, I should say, helpless family. And this boy, very football enthusiast, somehow made an accident while playing football and then broke both the lower legs, bones of his leg. Both the fibula, and the tibia, totally cut off while playing football. And they had to run here and there. We were not informed. They were running here and there, going to quacks, local maibas, all this stuff they were doing. Later on, they realized that it was not helping. In fact, it was, hurting him more. So they somehow reluctantly approached us. That's when we came to know about this boy. And we spoke. We convinced the mother and we convinced him. I spoke to some of my teachers who are orthopedic surgeons. I called them up saying that we need to help these people. I spoke to some of my SDO colleagues. I somehow gathered few amounts from them also. I also took out from my pocket. We did surgery on this boy. Now he is working without this thing, support. He can walk easily, there's no pain. Now, in that Liwamaring also, these are all very similar, and we have hundreds of such kind of scenarios today. Now, if you think that those people, I just need a career that will feed my stomach, so I have passion for this, I am passionate about this, and I'm very good at it. I don't care much about the earning. I don't care much about how much revenue it's going to give me when I join that job. Those people who are thinking like that, who thinks like that, now you may revisit your thought after seeing such kind of pictures. So the third point which I'm going to say in career choice parameter is the income generation. You can see here. First thing I have said, your passion about the things, what you love to do in your life. You need to have you need to fall in love very deeply with what you love to do, not just a surface love. All right. Number 2, you need to be extremely good at it. I've given them many examples. You have to be extremely good at it. You cannot be just a mediocre on that. All right. You have to be extremely good. The competition that I was giving example, you know it. You have to be extremely good. And the third thing, many people say many things about this. Some says it's not relevant. Maybe true for a guy who grew up in Delhi or Bangalore or Chennai. How many of us belongs to a family? How many of your students here are a son or daughter of, either of your parents are a government officer, not just an employee, an officer? Can I see hands? How many of you have your mom or dad, in a government job, the big sort type of thing, government officer, not just employee? I don't see any hands. That's too much. At least somebody will be there. All right. So then that means this becomes even more relevant for you. We are either first generation government employees or at the most second generation government employees in the family. So what I'm trying to say is that none of us are from the family who are well-to-do. We are all from very poor family. So this becomes very relevant for us. What job you choose, what career you choose, the revenue, the money that's going to fetch you for your work, for the service that you do, that also matters, extremely important. As person may be very good at, let's say, very passionate and extremely good in knitting our traditional mering muffler. I'm not discouraging that, but if he or she is to do just that, knitting or mering traditional muffler as a career, then and she says, no, I'm passionate only about the traditional stuff. I don't like other clothes. I just want to do our traditional muffler. How much revenue can you expect out of that? Our tribe is a very small tribe. The market is very small. And that's not going to fetch you enough to even feed your own stomach also. So, when you make a career choice, the last option is also extremely important, income generation. So, that's it. Very simple three things. I am nobody to tell you, you go for science, you go for humanities, you go for commerce. You are the one who is to decide your own career. You know what you love to do. You know what you are good at. Okay. And of course, the income generation part you will come to know later on. You may not know when you're very young. So, in the beginning I said, talking about career choice, it's extremely challenging and it's extremely difficult. All of us are different in our own ways. Likings, upbringings, and the environment scenario, everything is all different. So you are the one who is to decide what you choose in your life. I just need to, I have to facilitate you, to give you a little bit of light about career choice. So these are the three important things for me, which I feel is very relevant in our own setup, our own community. I think it's very important. Passion, what you are very good at, and the income part, the revenue generation part of the career. Okay, now, if I say that those three things are the most important things, are in deciding your career choice, and that's it. If I say that, I'll be wrong. I don't want to end it there. I want to put a little bit more than that. The world is changing. You can see the pictures here. The other one is King Louis XVI, the last monarch of France. It was in, I think, somewhere around middle of 18th centuries. It's the last portrait. Before the French Revolution, before he was overthrown by the revolution, this is the last monarch of France. You can see, the attire, the costume that he is wearing. If you closely look the attire, the fabrics, the design, actually you will say that it's a female's cloth. It's more towards, a lady's attire or costume. But those days, that kind of attire, it's only the king on his coronation day, they will wear. And it's extremely considered to be the manhood, the manly attire. But on the contrast, in 2017, the other one is Barack Obama in White House, the picture which was taken in one of the last days of his days in the White House. You can see the extreme difference in the attire. This is considered to be a very manly guy, Barack Obama nowadays, right? You can see the difference. Things are changing. What I'm trying to say, my students, things are changing. The world is changing at a very fast pace. And if you're still not believing in this, at least you can see this. This is also the Hindu Maharaja long time back, you can see the beads, the ornaments, the necklace, the clothes, even in their short, it's believed that they have that, those gems, the stones, the sparkling stones in the sword. The man, the king, forget about men, the king at that point of time really is in love with the gems and the stones, the gold, all diamonds, all these things. Today, if a man loves a gold and diamond too much, he will be considered maybe another gender or a gender in the between, right? Today, women wear that kind of dress. You can see it's changing so fast. It's extremely changing. In fact, now, see, if you don't believe in this, at least see this. Ranveer Singh. You can see his attire. Those days, the kings were wearing this kind of dress. And then you saw the Barack Obama. Now, the latest guy, see, he's a Bollywood actor, he's wearing like this. I'm not questioning or I'm not, scrutinizing what he wears. I'm just trying to give an example. It has become a fashion now. Our likes, our mindsets, mentalities is going back to those days again. So things are changing, what I'm trying to say. So whatever, those three important points which I just gave you, passion, what you're very good at, and income generation may not be relevant 5 years from today. Today it may be very relevant. I feel it's very relevant, but 5-10 years from today, those points may be irrelevant again. Now, how do we survive? This is a screenshot of a newspaper. Screenshot of a newspaper where it says, Alexa becomes virtual teacher for tribal students. Now, many of us are very passionate about teaching, being a teacher. Years from today, there may not be a need for teacher. There are many now mobile, mechanics, automobile mechanics, many mechanics are there. Engineers, all these things. Automation is taking place. People are not being thrown out of this job because the robots, the machines are constructing, manufacturing the cars and all those equipments. Things are changing. So, now, the question is, how do we remain relevant? How do we remain relevant in this fast-changing world? Your career, today what you love may not be, very relevant years down the line. But that's where we need to start questioning ourselves, how do I stay relevant even 5-10 years from today? What is that need? So this is the most important thing, in fact. Now you need to be very versatile, you need to be very agile, you need to be very adaptive. When there is a change, you also need to change accordingly. Years in the beginning of the creatures, the unicellular organism. When those days, the unicellular organism, then they have only one mouth, big mouth in the body. That's it. And the mouth was solely for nutrients, for eating food. God created that unicellular organism, mouth just for eating. But as things evolve, as the years go by, the mouth, today we don't use the mouth only for eating. I'm using it for talking. I'm using it for, many things. Kissing the love and near ones. Army is used for taking out the grenade pins, for many things. What I'm trying to say is that things will change. And you need to change accordingly. Sex. Sex is a phenomenon being given by God for procreation. To give babies, right? And also to test, in ancient time, they test the manhood of the person through, that sexual intercourse. But, the animals like chimpanzees, they use sex not only for procreation. Sex is a symbol of intimacy and also political alliance. The alpha, they call it the alpha chimpanzee. That is the head of the chimpanzee in the group, no? They use sex as a political alliance and also to gain confidence among one another. So what I'm trying to say is that what is important today may not be important tomorrow. And what is not important today, a job or a career that is considered not very important today may become extremely important tomorrow. So accordingly, we need to change. Accordingly, we need to be adaptive. We need to be very versatile and very, very agile. And we have to be very, vigilant on that. Then that way only you will be still relevant 10 years from today. So many people must have, you must have heard about a lot of teachers and public speakers talking about the 3 quotients, right? The intelligence quotient, the emotional quotient, the social quotient, If you don't know, just briefly, intelligence is your intelligence, how good you are at your calculations and all of that. And emotional means about your ability to understand others' pain and suffering. Social means your ability to link with the society, make connections with people, make friendship with people. People say that you need to have these 3 quotients to be very successful. Intelligence quotient, emotional quotient, and social quotient. But like this one, in a very fast changing world, if you want to relevant, like today, years from today, if you still want to remain relevant in the society, in your career choice, you have to possess this thing called, it's not visible. There is another 4th quotient, adversity quotient. Adversity is, what adversity is. Adversity is a disaster. It's a sudden change in phenomenon. Like our COVID-19 pandemic is an adversity. Because of that, jobs are being thrown out. Many things are happening, right? Alexa replacing the teachers, it's an adversity for the teachers' population. Their need is now not much, relevant. So in that kind of situation, you need to have an adversity quotient. The same thing which I have been talking about. You need to be able to change. You need to get along with the change in the phenomenon. You need to get along with the evolutions of the system. When what you like today is not relevant and what you don't like is, is becoming more relevant next time, now you need to change according to that. All right, that is the crux. Passion, good, what you are very good at, and income generation potential of the career. These are the 3 most important things for you to decide your career, and you have to decide for yourself. And on the top of that, please don't forget that what you like today may not be what you like tomorrow. Things may change and the world is changing very fast. You need to stay relevant. And for that, you need to possess this adversity quotient. Okay, so make your decision very wisely. And last thing is, this is a small picture of a culvert. Now, there is a village in my subdivision called Maiba. Last year, when I first visited the village during COVID-19 pandemic, the road was so bad. The road was so bad that even the gypsy broke down. You can imagine what must be the condition. If a gypsy car broke down, you can understand the condition of the road. We had to push out the bolero, 4x4 bolero. Now, after that I decided I will repair this road to whatever level that I can. So we went for survey in that road. It turns out that other side of the road there is a steep hill, and then during rainy season a lot of water come down. At some points a lot of water come down, and then it erodes away the surface of the road, and that way the road condition becomes very bad. It's an annual phenomenon. And since last 10 years they said that nobody has repaired the road. Earlier one IS officer constructed the road for them, and since then it has never been repaired. That's what they claim. So we went for survey. I found out that there are 8 crucial points where I need to put that kind of culverts, bypassing culverts. Now what we do here, you can see, we make the culvert, small 2 feet culvert, and we made a collecting, this small barrack type, and then we make sure that water doesn't flow over the road. We ensure that when there is heavy rainfall, that water goes down the road, so that the road is not cut off or eroded. Now, why do I put this picture? This culvert has been designed in such a way that it serves the purpose, in such a way that it improves the road condition of this village. Now, after all the things that I have spoken, I want you also to be like the culvert. I want you also to design your own life. Do not focus too much about, I will be this and that. As you grow up, in the beginning I said that many of you are very young. You may not know what your passion is also. You may not know what you want to do also. But as you grow up, explore it, get involved, do it yourself, learn the art, and then design your own life. Don't focus too much. Before you understand, you don't know what IAS officer is, and then you don't just say that I want to become IAS officer. That's not a very good thing. You grow up, experience yourself, and design your own life, design the person that you want to become as you grow up. So you are the one too, and you are the best designer of your own life. So make a very wise decision. Like I said, the mistake that you make today as a young boy, it's going to be a regret of a man tomorrow. You may say, today you make mistake, and as a boy, you may not know much. But 10 years from today, you will be a man and a woman, and you will regret as a man and woman, and it's very painful. Okay, so explore it, do it. There's one philosopher who says, there are two pain in life, two types of pain. One is the pain of failing. The pain of failing, doing it and then you failed. It's a very painful thing. The another worst type of pain is the pain of not doing it. Tomorrow you will become a man and woman, and then oh, I didn't do that. I wish I did that. You didn't try it. And that pain is much horrible, and it's the worst form of pain. So yeah, that's it. My dear students, that's the last thought I want to leave with you. Think, design your own life, and keep those three parameters in your mind: your passion, what you are very good at, and the income generation ability of the career. And another additional point, remember to be always agile and change with time. As the situation demands, you also need to change and adapt yourself. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, for providing us with your valuable time in sharing us with your priceless speech. I hope your speech will be an eye-opening to all the students here. It was such an inspiration, and I also believe everyone here feels the same. Thank you, sir. Thank you. May you be blessed. Now, in the midst of the program, we will have a short time for introduction.
I would like this time to introduce our two guest speakers who have arrived in the midst of the program. I would first like to introduce Dr. M. Dayananda Pibarel Maitai, entrepreneur, life coach, managing director, Medellin, and founder, Life Skill Development Academy. Sir, please kindly rise up from your feet, and we would like to present a small token of appreciation from our organizing committee, please. Thank you. I would also like to introduce Mrs. Sanjanbam Silomi Devi, Career Counselor, SS Counseling Center, Imphal. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. To proceed with the program, may I call Ms. Dancy Makunga for the special number.
A very good afternoon, respected counselors and distinguished guests and everyone present here. Good afternoon. I want a louder response. Good afternoon. It's very good. To continue with the flow of the topic of Dr. L. Angshim, I would like to present a song by Disney's Friends, Song for Change. I hope everyone will be blessed and become a role of change in the future.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Ms. Dancy Makunga, for presenting us a song with your melodious voice.
Our next speaker is a man of inspiration among the young startups of Manipur. With public talks on massive open talk platform about ICOT, my journey from a village boy to a medical doctor turned entrepreneur, his startup Medellin has won many investors and awards. He was the winner from IIT Guwahati of International Startup Enrichment Tour 2020 Singapore, the winner of Elevate 2020 Best Speech Award at Annual Entrepreneurship Summit IIT Madras, voted for Northeast Young Hero Award 2020, and grand finale in Ashocham Startup Launchpad 2021. He is a man who believes in strengthening self-esteem, educating and encouraging young minds to achieve success in life. Let us all welcome on stage a subconscious mind expert and law of attraction practitioner, an entrepreneur, life coach, managing director, Medellin, and founder, Life Skill Development Academy, Dr. M. Dayanand Pivarel Meite.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me on this one-day career counseling organized by Marine Student Association, yes, Union, and Marine Medicos Union on this auspicious day of Patriotic Day, the 13th of August today. And I feel so blessed and I feel so thankful to get this opportunity to interact with you. I'm not giving any kind of career counseling. I love to interact with you. I want to ask you more. So this is, are you ready? I'll ask a lot of questions. Thank you. And thank you so much for all the organizers and for giving me this opportunity once again. So I'll start my story, how I started my life. Actually, my home is from not too far from here. It's from Hairok. How many of you heard about the word Hairok? Okay, it's very disturbing sometime, election time, lot of things. Anyway, so I come from Hairok. Is it okay to speak Manipuri as well as English mix up? Is it okay? Thank you. So, I pongapam sa Hairok tagini. Say, Marup Messenger, he is one of the best friend. We were the classmate in Jennings. And I thank Brother Angsim, he is my senior in Jennings. And also my many seniors are here. Thank you so much for being present here. So, my life was started from a village boy, not an ordinary village boy. It's a very extremely poverty, I can say. Punsija horakpa matamda aigi yimungsi yam tina wara hore wabas yam tina wai. I have my father was diagnosed with a disease called Parkinson's disease. My mother was Angalwadi worker. Ngasi daina chahi almost 20 years ago, Angalwadi workers monthly salary is less than 1,000 rupees. Aigi babasu nar leiba, ai basu like tamhaning ba. Then ichini now so mari shuba. So I raised up like that. But I always had the aspiration to want to do something. I always I'm become a futuristic person. I say, even like Tamakpuda English medium school at Tamakpo Pangakte, I started from Manipur medium school till class 8. So how many of you still study in Manipur medium school? Manipuri medium school? Or how many of you studying English medium school? I believe all. Thank you. So, the minor Manipuri medium school they hore, and I was so weak in in English also at the time. Then I want to know about my career in the future. Then I khale class 12 tien galweraga di suchu ichudana subject khudi mase English loi tamdore. Adoi ta I class 8 tagi 9 je English medium tamhudraga di I won't cope up anything. I see maning da yam na horani na khalaga I took my first career decision in 2000. I believe it was in 2002 or 3. I believe I say English medium school lamda. I tambe school do English medium da school se hong. The decision was mine. Decision was mine. My father, my mother never taught me to go in English medium school because they doesn't have a money. At the time, the monthly fee is only 80 rupees. Thamagi school gi fee do lupa 80 rupees never. But that 80 rupees also my father and mother could not afford. Hojik 80 rupees di samosa anihum sawi pesane atare. That time, my father and mother could not afford me to send to an English medium school. But I was so determined. I want, because I know that in future, things are going to be happen. If I'm not studying English medium school, I'll be very difficult. So I took my first decision to study in English medium school. So my dear friends, I would like to call you friends. Almost, I'm not too old. Okay. So this is time you should take your decision now. Based on future. What is going to happen in the future? What the subject I have to take? What is happening in the future? So brother also mentioned about Alexa, AI, future. All that thing you should know from now. You should plan from now. As a whole, as a career. So, and then I want to study in English medium school, but I was studying in Wangjing. That's called Progressive English School. But my father could not, my parents could not support me and afford me to pay the school fee, and the result like badai ming yarok tre. School fee thi the badai result haidok taba kana kana yauge ai gumba. Hopefully none of you here. Thank you. But I ming pragai dorok bada yam patana ni jagiba. I result yarok traba. I fee thi the bagi. I was so desperate. At that time I got a news that how many of you know Slopeland Public School? Kongjong. Thank you. So adagi tanjadu da I'll talk about my story. It is very relevant. I will tell you why. So adai Slopeland Public School advertisement mena koi iniem na pulai. One of my auntie bring that news. So the competition am tawni hai. They will select 15 students for the studentship, free studentship. I'm starting. Oh, if I got a free studentship somewhere where English medium is were taught, I was so desperate to study. And brother, I studied to pass that class 8 test. I believe that I prepared like those who are preparing for civil service. I read all the questions because my entire intention is to clear that test so that I can study English medium school. Then I went there, I gave the exam, but the day of exam, I was so surprised and so desperate that people are coming with car, with parents, and I went alone. And adu mayam do urakan I went to kivam poe hata. Aslai haibang atala mani. I kamay to do non. By I di kayo ka pass to the so ade adugi exam no clear to the so ade ejukan ba kivam so pok pa hata. And one of my teacher taught me nang mi shmain urakan yam kita de ko. Just khalo moi chongang ngata ne khalo. Okay, oh, moi chongang ngata de gam. I sana mo reprogram to there. I accept myself. I'll go and sit. I'll do my best. Then exam thare hale. After 5 days, exam result was announced. I win. I never expected I'll pass. I couldn't pass it out. Rank ko wang na I went with one of my friend. He was selected in serial number 10. I think yang masih maning di yang kalak paneba. Masih I want to like hiwa mineba. I know maning yang kalak as manati in the already 80 hours in English. I was out. 3 days tamay yang bado. Some yaudi like some akok ti bado. So I got second position and I was so surprised. And that's how I got opportunity to study in Sloveland Public School from class 8 to class 10. And I was sponsored by then Chief Secretary Sir Jarnil Singh. He sponsored my study in a Sloveland Public School. And then after Sloveland Public School, I want to study in one of the good school in the Manipur. I never thought that I will study in Harvard or HRD. At the time was the best school. But I was searching for the school where I can get free with my mark. I always loved free at that time because I don't have option. My parents could not afford me. Then I luckily got a school called Mem Has Secondary School, and I got free admission. And I got a free student safe, and I studied here. Then my parents, I also want to study MBBS, and I went for coaching. Adusu coaching the first, second, my test test the first, second, third, fee tangkai piba pasha. I was not a topper guy. Aduna I di topper ita di mungkin na fangam. I'm not that much topper go mo irakte. I must like middle and average. Do my adugi chang way. Ana entrance mak thar changa kan entrance khale, and I think that I'll study matam do de Messi da tamade MBBS tamadong phoi ko kuise. We study Messi is a coaching center. Kometa ka tamadi Dr. Tamba phangado do no phao eder. And many parents also told their friends that, oh, I sadu Messi da tammi haidi Dr. Oida do no phao yao eder. That feeling also we also had. I don't know. Then unfortunately, one incident come. Ravina and Sanjit Sivagi lakre. Then was blocked. All the shut down. Coaching was shut down, and I got only 4 months to study the coaching. And I was laid out. And I don't have money to go for private tuition also. Then at the time there was a movie called 3 Idiots. How many of you have seen 3 Idiots? 3 Idiot movie yang abo kana kana. How many of you have seen 3 Idiots? Please raise your hand. Oh, that's. Please see. Those who are not yet seeing, please see that movie. Aduda phajam yawe angang si like pasha sulai ba like ta machaning ba aduda mana nang like ta machaki speciality hai kana. No, see uniform lera chalo. Any nang phamni class na phamang yaw en ama faradi ka main tawa oh faradi uniform change school change I click in my mind. Then I private tuition was am kai manak loi chale maning da phame mamang da phama di khangi ne na maning da phame tuition ji yaw re ada question khak mi na hanga khanga aina khangban sa khanga jo I khum de ata I khum de kai khanga kani I don't have money to pay also. And I don't have the guts to say, sir, I don't have money and I will pay when I have. Then, but inside in my mind, I always think that I'll pay when I can. But my entire desire to become a doctor was there. So I sit there, I silently, then Ozana, Pesha Thoroko Matang Yorokadi, I knew hum chatre. I managa hange, Pesha Thorok, Zikan, Hungre, the Amusale. So that was my, journey. And then I got selected MBBS with a lot of struggle. I went morning for my tuition, and evening I went to teach someone. And then I got selected. The day I got selected MBBS, my mother cried like anything. Not because of happiness. She might be happy, but she feel that MBBS she doesn't have money. She cry a lot. And then all my villagers, they contribute 10 rupees, 20 rupees, 30 rupees, 100 rupees, whichever they can. They give 2 lakhs rupees to me. But I thought, oh, lakh ani di laire, I'll study MBBS. Lakh ani sina di ay tambalui lui koina do di man de khale kamain tau again. It inspired me, lake is a source of innovation. Lake Tabasi is a source of innovation, I believe. I thank to God that Smain Thambiram Bagi, I got this opportunity. So I started a shop. I searched nearby store near Jennings Manakta Dukanama tea. I thought that this 2 lakh rupees, I will start a shop. I will support my study as well as my sister's studies, not only for me. So Dukanama Hange, this is how I start my journey, my dear friends. And I pass out my MBBS, and I have a inner calling that I should do much bigger than just being a doctor. Then that's why I started Medilane. This is my story, short story. So the point I'm saying here is why, my dear friends, how many of you think that my family is very poor. My father and mother could not afford me what I want. Aigi imung di am lairi. Akhui ma baba na ina pamisi to honba ngamoy. Akhui di am laira bulam ni. Akhui imung si di am lairi gaina khanba kana yauge. I want your brutal honesty. Akhui di am lairi gaina khanba kana yauge. Kesukai de. I want to say. I believe that all are very rich. Yes, you all are very rich. We don't know. But how many of you heard about that? Akhui ki lam di laira bani, Manipur di laira bani, laira ba lam dam ni, akhui di resource lati, adu tau di, that tau di, taba kana yaurage. Akhui imung nataba. Akhui lam di laira bani, haba lam kana taba yaurage. Yes. Thank you. Okay. Then it come to my mind that what is definition of poor? What is definition of poor? After struggling a lot, after finding all that thing, I come to a conclusion that the definition of poor is not having the money. Definition of poor is not having good thought. Wakhal laira baze, mind zi laira baze. This is a poor. Do laira boy laira mete. Inakun ba zi kaino, wakhal inakun ba. If you are rich in mind, so rich in mind, you are a rich person. How many of you still think that you are poor? We all are not poor. We think that we don't have money, that's why we are poor. We don't have this facility, that's why we are poor. No. Wakhal laira base. Laira baneta. Adunu mitudai ay khaleba. I should know about mind. What is mind? How can I become rich in my mind? That's why I'm so obsessed and so curious to know about what is our mind. So how many of you want to know about mind? Mind. Okay, I want interaction, not just, not lethargic. So if you feel so lethargic, everybody, can we do one thing? Everybody. Okay, please stand up once. I know that there will be some sound, noise. Okay, please stand up. Okay, this side. Please. So everybody. I feel that after a long talk, everyone is a bit lethargic. Okay, let's do some stretching exercise. Let's increase our energy. Otherwise, okay, so everybody. So, do like this. Okay, bending backward, small. Forward. Okay, sidewise. Okay. And please do high five to your next one. High five. Yes. Come on, everybody, come on. Do high five. That side, do high five. Thank you. Please sit down. Okay. So adui matung tarakpadidi, I was so fascinated to know about what is mind. What is the power of mind and how can we make ourselves rich in mind? Nasa haibado, light bagi definition ze wakhal light boiler meta. How can I make my mind so rich? So with that, I started reprogramming of subconscious mind. So I'm written here why we should reprogram our subconscious mind. Why should we make our mind so rich? It is here for our better health. Number one, for our relationship, better relationship, for our career. We are discussing about career and for our wealth or money. I don't want to focus only in money, my dear friends. People think that money, they have everything. It's wrong, my dear friend. I will prove you today. Say, for example, you have thousands of crore in your account, thousands of crore as an asset, but you are in a debt bed. Siram daigi phamung da tummaga leira na nangi account lupa crore la ama crore lising ama changawa. What will you do? Noi paisa lo lauzo horo. Ai chakrage ha chakido watangai ita. We don't need money at the time, right? At the same time, if you're in terms of your health, that's why health is very important. If you're very healthy, so active, so healthy, but you have a lot of money, you got a good position in the government or in business, but your relationship with your at your home, your surrounding, your locality is too bad. Hui achok man loiraga wal wang kharaga paisa myam pairaga na hayeng yum du da heart attack torakanda lakpina ba kanam leitraba. Is it a successful life? Is it successful life? No. A big no. Small no is a big no. That's why we should have a good relationship with our family members, with our siblings, with our father and mother, with our wife, husband, with our surrounding, now with our nature. We should have a good relationship with our nature because nature is punishing us a lot, right? Ing do hujik yam thin sare landslide thoi do thoe jwar loi hale because we have a bad relationship with the nature. We should have a very good relation. Health is important, relation is also important. Next, I'll tell about one career. Today is all about career. As a student, you should know what is career also. Then you have good health, you have a good relationship with your family, and you have a lot of money also. But the way you earn money, your career is illegal. People hate you. You got a lot of money also, but the way you earn money is against the law. It's against the society. Is it called a successful life? No. Big home, beautiful car, lot of relations with the family, but the way you earn money is absolutely against the society. No. It's a big no. It's not called a successful life. Successful career, no. That's why you should choose legally, legal way. And last important thing, why I give money and wealth last. Everyone think that money and wealth is first, but I'll keep it last. Why? Because sometimes we think that money is everything. My dear friend, no. Money should be a small part of becoming a good career success in our life. One important thing also about money, mi si masa su yam phare, relationships yam phajare, ayam mana koi saida khara pan mi su yorok di ko si matang da, mayam ki thabak tane hairi ko chen da khot ne yam tawjaba, hakchang su yam phaba, mayam na su respectable position da ga su thambiba. Head of the this, head of the that, chairman, president, oi thambiba, but he doesn't have money. He doesn't earn money. Then what will the family will told? Mama sabadi pang nungai jaba haitar. Chen na mayam kita mukta ne ko chen nungai jaba. Then at the end, what the family will told to you? As no ngamba thokrani thabak chakrani yung ki thabak so mat su yaw ya de ko cha chalalei. It is successful life? No. No, it's a big no. And I have seen many people, so-called social workers, organization leaders. They do a lot of things about society, but they don't have a good earning. That's why they respect by the people, by surrounding, but at home, they are not respected. Is it right? Angang hide khangiroi ko, student hide khangiroi khara halura kang kyan tarakane ata. Ay hining idi adusu yade. Then what is successful life? What is successful life? Then it's a balance. You should be a good health. Number one, that's most important. You should have a better relationship with surrounding, family, and all that thing. And you should have a good career of choice. And then you should have a source of income, not 1, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4 source of income. Say, source of money. You should have that one. Adu yaudragadi. You cannot call a successful life, my dear friend. So how many of you agree that? Those who think that money is only the thing, please change your mind today. No, money is not only the thing. If we require health, relationship, career, and wealth or money, balance is a balance. Life should be balanced. So as a student, today I want to discuss about very important, because this will be very important for your life. Do you want to know? Please raise your hand. Those who want to know, it's very, very important. If you know this, you can live more than 100 years. How many of you want to live more than 100 years? Okay. Thank you, thank you. Because I'll tell a story about Japan. Japanese people say they live more than 100 years. But among that, there is a few specific island in Japan, they live more than 115 years. 115 is very average. But scientists from US and Europe, they study why these people live so long. Why they are not die at its 80s, 90s. Why they live so long and so healthy. Not only living longer, but healthy. But if you live more than 100 years, just written in the bed, knowing no one who is coming, and cannot eat, is it a productive life? No, I don't want that kind of the 100 years. How many of you want that? You live 100 years, but you just in bed written. You cannot walk, you cannot talk, you cannot eat. You just like a Pambro? No, I don't like it. I don't like it. If you like it also, I don't like it. But this Japanese, they live more than 115 years, very healthy, very active, very happy. Last word is very important, very happy. Very happy. So when a scientist in the study why these people are so happy, so active, so healthy, and live more than 115 years, why? And they find a solution, a word called Ikigai. How many of you heard about Ikigai before? 1, 2, 3. Thank you. These people are maybe so happy people, I believe. They might be very happy, right? If you know about Ikigai, you'll be very happy. Happy. You know, ultimate goal of our life, you'll know it later, my dear friends. Young friends, I will say. My dear young friends, you'll know later, the ultimate goal of your life is to be happy. You'll know it later. Just listen today, you'll know it later. Happiness is the ultimate goal. Why we pray God? We want to have peace of mind. Why we want to earn money? We want to be happy. Why we want to get a job? We want to be happy. If you got a job, high paying, you said everybody you will be, will you do the job? You'll feel pain. Oh no, I will give up this job. No one will do the job. Ultimate goal of the life will be finding our inner happiness. So I'll come to the Ikigai. When we heard about Ikigai, we come to in our mind that there should be 4 important points we should remember. How many have you heard about, passion? Okay, I'll ask, what is your passion? Please remember everyone, what is your passion? Not only him. I'll ask everyone. I'll jump. Yes, what is your passion? Mike Kumbalebra. Is there any mic? I want my session to be interactive. I don't want to say, just I'm talking, you listen. No. Please be interactive. Yes, what is your passion? Do you find out still, or do you have, or you don't have? What? Making things. Okay, pots macam-macam sawa, right? Adu haira. Okay, is that so? Thank you. Then what about you? Second. No, next. What is your passion? You can take my mic. Come, please. Feel loud. So confident. Thank you.
In my passion is just like playing and like music and guitars. That's all my passion.
What is your passion?
Playing guitars and like.
Okay, that's wonderful. Please round of applause for his wonderful friend. His passion is to play a guitar, right? Because what is passion? What he's so passionate about. Passionate about guys. Then manasu kara haijaba. Nangna pamdang pamaga suy haidra passion ko we go. You should love it, and you should also kitang ju haigadaw ne. Right? Everybody remember your passion? Nangna yam pamjaba, nangna su kara su haiba. That's your passion. Somebody want to be a dancer. How many of you want to be? How many of you? Your passion is a dancing. Oh, thank you.
How many of you want to be a poet? Your passion is writing? Thank you. How many of you, your passion is football? Ari. Thank you. Thank you. So how many of you want to be, your passion is singing? Singer, I want to be singer, singing. Thank you. Okay, so everybody, all of us have a passion, right? But one thing, passion game definition, hay say, nang yam haiba, nang khara yam haidrasu khara haiba, nang nasu pamjaba. Is there a word called earning in a passion? No. There is nothing earning. Earning is not there. Ma, have you earned money while playing guitar till now? No. You cannot live with passion alone. You cannot live with passion alone. Pamjaba du khatane hingya deva. You need money, right, to live. Aduna passion katani yade hata. And the next come to a word called profession. How many of you had heard about the word profession? Yes. So few of my brothers are doctors. Doctors are profession. Lawyers, teachers, and nurse, and a lot of other professions are there. Drummers, singers, all are profession, right? What is profession? Profession is what you are good at and what you get paid for that. Haidi nang yamna haijaba adugi damakta paisa su phangba. Yareko, you are good at there and you get paid for that. That's called profession. But there is one word missing here. Do you really love it? Not necessarily. Right? Do you love it? Not necessarily. Because I'll tell a story. In my career also, being a doctor, there are a lot of doctors who send to be a doctor by their parents. They don't want to be a doctor, but their parents send them to be a doctor. And they come to their Dr. Tambala Amini Chahi Manga Tamina Haide. He became a good, in terms of experience, then he got a job, he got paid for that. Yes, profession. Aina yam haijaba, adui tabugut tawi paisa phangba. That's called profession, right? Adui tagadi, adu main togiba doctors ingze. They come to the office, they come to the hospital a bit early, and if there is any chance, they will like to run away. Because they doesn't love there. They doesn't want there. They doesn't want to be there for longer time. They just want to run away. Where they have a form of clubs. I don't want to mention the name of the clubs. In the clubs, they love to sing. They start singing, they start playing games. They love somewhere. But I have seen many doctors who also love to become a doctor and also have a passion of becoming a doctor. They come to the hospital early, they wear the lab coat, and they work late hours also. They doesn't feel any regret. They love it, my dear friends. So same as like a teacher. I have seen one of my teacher. He doesn't want to become a teacher because he studied up to master. He did PhD. He had nothing to do. Then, Madi, like chum tamlay robanina, yum sabazo heudre, shake sabazo heudre, karim heudre, like a tang hayreter. Adoitari kadoni to hong kang derna ozawiba. I'm not against any of those teachers who are doing same. Pamjabadi nateva. My pamjabadi kaino harmonium khong baiter. Ayo jamani ko legi dre hose. Hangraga maji hangraga harmonium so khong le baiter. Kaino like tapo my passion natte have. Just professional or bit or baiter. I think till now we know that what is passion, what is profession, right? And what is vocation? Have you heard about the word vocation? Vocational course? Please raise your hand. So vocational course, what comes to your mind first? Anybody? Vocational course, plumbing, right? Plumbers, carpenters, mansion work, yum saba, check saba. This all of the mostly tailoring. Is it come in your mind? Vocational course. What is vocation? Vocation means what you get paid for that, and the world also need it. Nang adui thabak tu tawbadane paisa su phangadaba aduga society na su dakar leiba pot haitar. Say for example, someone join as a yum sabada koi labor in a yawi than a go. Manas Harizibo, Sek Polopedagi, ID yum sabi labor oiniga and Tolopangang yaw bro. How many of you think that I think our labor oiniga, yum sabagi, Jugali oiniga, yaw bro? Anybody? Yaw digino, can I'm winning the header. But it was compulsed that Adu Taudraga de Horen Chakum may mutu behind. Adu Taudraga de Magita Kali nit Makado fulfill the Roidiva, Port Lake the Machagi like them and Bamayano, Pangoidiva, Adugita Maktamase, Palm the Dana, Taugadaba. Hey, Tabaxi the Kalebro? Yes, the Kalego. No Uramani Swide Levin Uram that was saying Impalda, Impalga Hurley, Nangane, Gai Torachalo, like the Kamba, Hekachongilaga, I don't cut away there. Because they really want to do any job. Because they need money. That job is also needed. That's called vocation, my dear friends. Vocation the pamjaba yaw deko. Haibasu yamkan yaw deko. Yamkan haitersu yaiter. Yum sabagi jugali oibasibu nang di master in jugali natra di yaroga. Yaw leibrane. Leiteko. You can be anyone. You can join. But my dear friends, one more important is mission. Career kanbadasi am dakaleko aduna neko ini am mention to jerize. One is missing here. What is called? Mission. Have you heard about mission? Have you heard about missionary of charity? Who come in your mind first? Missionary of charity. Kana tholaki mind? Yes. Who tell that? Kana nom dahiro. Please raise your hand. Thank you. Thank you. Please round of applause for this wonderful Mother Teresa. Oh, I forgot to mention, I bring some coupon card, discount or like a, what is called, coupon card of 500 rupees each. I'll give to those who answer question. I bring that. I have selected 1 or 2 person and third person. Lupa changagi coupon card am pure bako. Answer kumami the pigi na ite. So please, Marina, please note it down. I love to give to them only. So please answer my questions then. And get 500 rupees coupon card. Thank you. Okay, anyway. So, Mother Teresa. Why, so missionary of charity. Adu tawisi kayo no? Mana India la kanda leprosy na ba. Then, layang mangamdro mayam je khomjilaga layang bi banayta. Right? So, mission haraka nadi. Mana tawisi kayo no? What he loved. Mana pamjaba. At the same time, the world also needed. Society na that's called mission. Some people live with a mission. Like so-called social workers. They live with a mission. Mission da earning yaubra. Earning yaudeko. Yam hairuba yaubra. Yam kan yaudu yam kan hairu mano pamjaradi. Yaeva. Ado mission katara koi hingyabra. Magu inadi yaiko. Mama sagu indi ba, but magi families in the dem we are active. If he's the responsible person of the family, ma adu minusum hingle ge hatardi. No. Masai hai geduni. Gautam Buddha na ma chakhi bumatan na magi di am mukti phange, enlightened. But family was suffering like a lot. Right? If you are a responsible person of the family, ID social worker and nongayu no mitaw chala ko chala leibedo, nangi family no welcome tawgadra. Tawroi hatar. Then what is Ikigai? What is Ikigai? As I do, we cannot live only with a mission. We cannot live only with a passion. If you get paid, paisa phangaga profession am the hingjarasu, nungai bhaibsi yaudra paisa duna yadeba. Aduna ne nungai pham thira chatlai paisa jatana. Yaiko. Adoi tagadi, what is Ikigai? My dear friends, you should know this very well. Nang hojik nang Ikigai khangaba, you will be one of the most happiest person. You will be one of the most happiest person I can guarantee. Ikigai means if you're doing what you love, what you're good at, and you get paid for that, and the world also need it. Ikigai is kayo kanda nang na pamjaba, nang na sukhara hainajaba. Then society, adu tawagi pasasong pangba, society na so need oiba. That's your Ikigai, my dear friends. So find your Ikigai. If you're doing your Ikigai, nang pung mga wanga zu waro heter. No ngamin no mitabag tabag sur waro heba. Nang no oza sina nang Ikigai oiraba. Ay tasing no oza oining bagita magta oza oigibani. I want to help students. I want to make nations. And then, adu to wedding pashasu phangba, society na sunit daka oiboy tardi, nang like taksa buga si nang yam nungai jan takani ata. Changi roi ata. And if you want to become a doctor with your Ikigai, you will treat your patients so passionately. You'll get paid for that. Then you will be recognized by the society also. You'll find your Ikigai. But unfortunately, my dear friends, many of us don't know this meaning, and we lost somewhere. Tauba na ama tauba, pamba na ama pamba. Ha, ozaduna thau phangu da bai oiba, pamba na isai sakpa. Ayuk tana ozawa ba chapa nungdang dang ni isai sakpa chapai ta. Ozawa ba duna hingna ba, isai sakpa duna nungai na ba. Kai gombo ozazuna taseng na sa semning bagi ozawa iram ba. He will be one of the best teacher. I can give an example. I have one teacher who cleared UPSC, men's, but he gave up. No, I want to be a teacher. I want to be a teacher. And he teach many of students, and he make many of students MBBS. I'm one of his students. My teacher's name is Dr. Sret Chongtham. He started a coaching class called Biophone, and now it changed to Sret Education Academy Institution. He is one of my teachers. I know his Jill. He got selected in UPSC in the final round. He doesn't attend interview because he want to teach student. Adugumba oja mayam tholak tar de koi society se kyam phadui no ba. Adugumba ikigai phangba oja mayam, ikigai phangba sanaba khoi student mayam, ikigai phangba footballer mayam, ikigai phangba singer mayam tholak tar de. Then just imagine. So go back and find your Ikigai. It's you who will find your Ikigai. No one will tell you Ikigai. I'll tell a small story of mine. I have a sister. She loved dancing alike. Jagoi sab yam pamjaba. Akhoina pamdaba haitar. Jagoi sabi ga je pamde haitar. Aduna aina pamana kaino masi doctor ohening ba. Ai doctor oramina mas ohening ba haitar. Family, doctor family, thing like this. The doctor will always marry a doctor. Give a nupa pokera, nupi pokera, they will make a doctor and they will try to marry another doctor. This is a doctor family. You know what I mean? Doctor dine, doctor hek oiraba, doctor nupi maluhongani, macha amponi doctor ohelani, adugi macha nupa oigera, nupi oigera, anopa doctor, amdamu luhonga doctor ohening etar. You know what I mean? Aiju matam da MBBS tamba kholak pada phaw bago. I'm just kidding. Sorry. So, I need to doctor ohening na masi my dance class at 100. Then manari pamjada banina manako. Biology subject man fail one. Intentionally. Thayadre. Then masi adidi amo in business to honing na mo BBM tamhale. Hojikti sum adura sakreko. My career same way. But I couldn't realize the reva. Mana pamjaba dance da I see Jane Dance Academy, the dancer in a Tamalam Tagadi. She will be one of the happiest person. Dance to Wudu Tamjarakanda. He can be the professor of dance ki Ujaragat Magi career to see much Chagidodo. I know Swin Bigreco and a Kalakan. I feel so regret, my dear friends. So parents may am Suyari Angang Ziki Karida Hainagi Bio. Hainari Potuna monetize we are going, Pishan to we are going. Huziki Yarekino. Saba Panam Haidu, Saba Katanto was the Super Satani Ekino. Blogger Miam de City. Wajike Hege. Mukbang. That's all. How many have heard about Mukbang? Those. Pen of Mukbang. Thank you. So how many of you heard about traveling? I said, travel yam pamjawami. Those people who want to travel, they make travel videos, they upload it, and they become a profession. Mana pamjaba, peshachu tanba, and they explored many good new places. People also love it. It become their Ikigai. They earn a lot of money. They are so happy, right? So find your Ikigai. It's not too early. It's right time for you to find your Ikigai. So how many of you ready to find your Ikigai? Please raise your hand. Ikigai thiroge and kan bahorin hangraga. Ikigai no thiroge. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, when you start choosing your career, careers is maina ay thamge. Now what you think in your career, what I want to be, it will change, my dear friends. It will change. You know, I'll tell my story. When I was studying in the Dublin Public School, I want to be army officer. And when I was class 10, I want to be army officer. When I finished my 12, I want to be a doctor. When I become a doctor, I want to be an entrepreneur. When I become entrepreneur, I want to be a life coach. Then what is my career? Where I'm going? It will change, my dear friend. It will change. It's okay. It's okay to change. But one thing, my dear friend, you should not change one thing, is that be a good human being. I won't recommend you to become a doctor. I won't recommend you to become an IS officer. I won't recommend you to become a teacher, then the footballer, all that things. No, I won't recommend no one. But I will recommend one thing, my dear friend. Be a good human being. Be a good human being. You know, when you become a good human being, you can become a good doctor, right? You can become a good teacher. You can become a good IS officer. You can become a good police officer. You can become a good footballer. You can become good, everything, right? What most important? Be a good person first, right? So how many of you are ready to be a good person? This side is very good. This side, I want to see how many of you want to be a good person. It's not necessary for a student alone. It's for everyone. Thank you. This side, thank you. Thank you. So my first suggestion is that be a good person. Then everything will come along. Everything will come along. So today, time is almost over for me. And now I would like to invite question and answers. Okay. So my topic will be, it's a very lengthy topic. Because I want to know more about your career. This is career guidance. So career counseling part. So I will focus on the career part. So when you choose your career, you can be anything. It will change also. It will keep on changing also. But my dear friend, I want to say, be futuristic. Be futuristic. Future the lakado potu yingbiyo. Future the career kani yingbiyo. You know, in Manipur, there are few courses. Mina koi tanaba. Tambana taba tambulu idigere tanaba course ka layate. Up to the 12th lure tambayaba. Maje tambulu bagane. Nang tambulu raba in tanaba either. Do you want to know the course name? Tolo pirage tanaba. Tambulu baga. Do you want to know the name of the course? Please raise your hand, those who want to know. If you want to know, I will tell. If you don't want to know, I will tell. Okay? Few of you want to know. So I'll tell you. People say like, nurse, MLT, lab technician. First medical height, next to doctor, nurse, right? Doctor ki mathang do nurse ne khaleba. No, my dear friends, there are a lot of things. Things are changing. I recommend one course. This is called BSc Optometry, Ophthalmology, Pharmacist. These two courses, people are, music, sana dong tang eter. You know why? Miyam laite have. And it's become futuristic. And BSc Optometry tambana diploma optometry gatamuba BSc Pharmacy gatamuba makhiza. It's a very new opportunity. And there's another call, say, therapist, speech therapist. There are many. I think you have seen many people who cannot speak, tongue tight oiba, wang amoy gamdaba. They're kind of therapists. Very lack. And another hige, child psychologists. People have a lot of psychologists, clinical psychologists, especially for child psychologists. We have 1 or 2 or 3, 4. It's a good opportunity career, my dear friends. Don't think that doctor, engineer, nurse, these are the only we have in our mind. No, these are saturated. In Manipur, how many medical colleges coming up in next 5 years? We will have 4: Sija, RIMS, Jenims, and one is in Chuchanpur. How many medical graduate every year coming out? Roughly, Jennings also will have 150, CJ will have 150, 300 this year. RIMS will have something around 100. Chuchanpur will have something around 100. It will be 600 to 700 doctors will be coming every year, right? But what about these therapists? What about these physiotherapists? What about these speech therapists? What about these optometrists? Where? Nobody focus there, my dear friend. If you want to be wind in future, sometimes you should take the rod. Most of the people are not yet taken, right? So you can choose that part, and hopefully in later part, ma'am will talk more about the career counseling. I'm talking about as per its industry required. What is required in industry, not just as a course kaki wanatan haite. So my dear friends, I would like to invite few questions. If you have few questions, I'll love to answer. One thing, if you don't ask any question, I will understand that you know nothing or you know everything. Question hangredi ko, either you know nothing, kaim khangdaba ma, or you know everything. Which one is yours? Karamboy, do you know? You know everything? I will be very good. If you don't know nothing, that's also I'm very good. Okay. Any question? I love to